G'day, mate, from the land down under. It's Jai, that Aussie metal guy, here again with Crannk. I hope you're all managing to stay safe in this crazy-ass time we're living in at the moment. Today marks a special day for me. Besides being my 100th interview for Crank.com, I'm having a chat, frontman, vocalist, bassist for the almighty Skinlab, Steev Esquivel. Cheers for making some time to have a chat with me, man. Thank you very much.
Oh, beautiful, man. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. What's up, bro?
Just
number 100, huh?
Not much, man. Just having a chat to you, my friend.
Beautiful. Well, hey, glad to be at what, number 100? You said
number 100, man.
Yeah, that's a good spot.
Yeah, dude, it's really cool. I was pretty pumped to be having the chance to have a chat with you for my 100th, dude. It just worked out this way, man. Like, you guys have been around for 26 years now, and you've influenced so many metal bands, dude. Congratulations on that, dude. First off.
Thank you, man. Yeah, it's been a bit. Yeah, we don't feel that old, but obviously, you know, time says everything. You know, I guess we'll just go a little wiser now.
Yeah, well, I was having a chat to a mate of mine, Dan Pearce. He's from a grindcore band, and he's a promoter over here in Australia. And I was having a chat to him about shows that had to get postponed, and I mentioned Skinlab. I said I had an email from Skinlab, and their new film clip is dope, the Amerikill one, and we're talking about the Bound, Gagged, and Blindfolded album. And he said, fucking, same as me, man, that first start of that album, When Pain Comes to Surface, what does it take to be a man? That is a fucking amazing line, dude.
Awesome. Yeah, words to live by, right?
It is, dude. It is, man. And it is amazing words to live by. What kind of music, dude? I want to go right back to your home, because I'm always interested in what kind of music, man, was cranking through your home as a child, kind of influenced where you are now.
Oh, through my home as a child, I mean, completely different.
Yeah, definitely, same.
I didn't discover heavy metal until probably around 12 or 13. I'm a Motown baby. Yep. Obviously, I'm Hispanic, and I was raised around. My dad was in a Latino band growing up, and you know, we were Smokey Robinson to you know, Simon and Garfunkel even, but you know, Marvin Gaye, you know, Diana Ross, everything. I mean, I'm a soul boy. I'm a soul baby.
Yeah, and I kind of feel that influence in Skinlab as well, dude, because you can't go past being in a music and having a musician, not having the music from your childhood kind of influence your journey. Yeah. Well,
you know, you probably wouldn't now that I tell you, but I mean, Barry White, we joke around, you know, it's like, but you know, whenever we go to record the album, you know, we'll have my different voices, you know, like, hey, bust out the Barry White. And it's so funny because it's a hell of an influence on me from my childhood, and something that I probably don't pay attention to much, but it just resonates no matter what, you know?
Yeah, it definitely does, and it did for me. It kind of built my ground roots as well to kind of where I am as the metalhead. And I think about 12 or 13 is when I first started getting into heavy metal as well, dude. What got you into heavy metal? What were you cranking? What got you into that kind of side?
Well, I was listening to the Plasmatics. You know, I just got done rocking out to frickin' the Grease soundtrack. And then the Sugar Hill Gang came in, you know, with their rap stuff, kind of rock and stuff. And then, you know, then all of a sudden my cousin started, he had a paper route, and he started running into neighborhood kids, and he ran into Death Angel at a very early age on his paper route. And, you know, so it became pretty heavy really quick. So 12 o'clock, or 12 years old, you know, I was cranking Death Angel, Possessed, and, you know, Exodus, of course, Metallica, Merciful Fate, you know, so it got pretty dark quick.
Yeah, Death Angel are cool, man. It's good to see them back and rocking as well, dude. I caught them a couple of years ago when they were over here in Australia, and it was a fucking unreal show, dude.
Yeah, they're kick-ass, man. Knowing them, great to see him just continue going. And Will's obviously got out of the hospital and is alive and kicking, so that's good.
Yeah, definitely, man. So what came first for you? Was it bass or vocals?
I was a drummer.
A drummer?
I was a drummer, until my cousin, the same very cousin, Joey, he went on his paper route, discovered that band, Death Angel, and he was like, man, I will show you a 12-year-old drummer that'll fucking blow you out of the water. And I was like, yeah, right. He's like, seriously, come with me. So the next day I went with him on his paper route, and literally my jaw dropped to the ground. We were outside listening to the very first incarnation of Death Angel, and they opened up their garage, and Andy was like 10 years old, 11 or something like that. And we got to watch them for a second, and I quit playing drums right then. Actually, I got fired. My cousin fired me from the band, and I became a singer.
No shit. And,
yeah, a little cheaper.
Yeah, and so you started singing first, and then you picked up bass to go along with it?
I started singing, and then it wasn't until I quit and left Defiance I decided I wanted to play bass.
Okay.
I was just really going in a direction that I felt that the first Skinlab album, what was brewing inside of me, I just felt at the time not many people were understanding where I wanted to go with it.
Yep.
At the time, I was dating a girl who was roommates with Rob Flynn and his now wife, and I was, there during the early demo stages of Rob writing Machine Head, so I heard, some of this new stuff brewing, and I just knew that, it was time for a change. I felt something changing inside of me. I felt the influence, of what I was hearing from Rob, and the guys just came out with a killer demo, and then they came out with Davidian, and goddamn, we were just such big fans of that. And the Bay Area scene, there was a lot of heavy underground stuff that I was into, like bands like Grimple, and just different bands that were like really, really cool and abrasive, along with Neurosis.
Yep.
And that's really what, them and Tool, that's what really had a grasp on us when we were starting off.
That's really cool to hear how all these stories interconnect. It sounds like the Bay Area scene is a really tight scene, and you just tend to lift each other up a lot, which is really cool to see. The metal scene, you could probably learn a lot from that, eh?
Yeah, yes. I mean, there's been so many different ups and downs throughout the Bay Area, and it seems like everyone's got each other's back. And seems like it all came together when we almost lost our boy Chuck. You know what I mean? The thrash of the Titans. I mean, that
would have been a full-on.
Started everything again.
Yeah. Well, there was like that 10-year kind of break in between the Scars Between Us and Venomous, eh? Wait up, there we go. Connection's back on. Skype, be nice to us. So you had that kind of 10-year break in between the Scars Between Us and Venomous, dude. That is a really cool fucking album, dude. I didn't get a chance to really dive into that when that come out in October, just purely because what I do, I have so much music come across my desk. So I was really pumped to be able to dive back into that Venomous album and just really take it in, dude. It's done really good with that album, eh?
Oh, thank you so much. We worked really hard on it. That was a record that I personally put a lot of time and attention to as far as the songs that I contributed. Snake is also the songwriter in the band, and he obviously put in the equal amount of time. So I mean, this is product of love for our band, for our fans. A lot of people say that they don't care what the fans think about their music. They write this for them. It's we're quite opposite. We write this music because we want it to be loved. We know that we have fans that appreciate the style of music that we write, and we felt that it was really, really important to dig deep and try to give them the next step. Me personally, Scars Between Us was kind of a step to the left. I felt that we were catering to a scene that never really accepted us anyways, the whole metalcore scene. We've been written off as like a groove metal, new metal band, which is fine, whatever. We don't really let brands, determine our eternal feelings, but we're a metal band, and we felt that this record really represents who we are right now. And it's it's raw. It's raw and truthful. It's an honest record. And I think that's why we're liking it.
Yeah, it is, man. It kind of it pisses me off too, man, about metal elitists. I constantly see it all over the fucking social media sites, and I don't, for fans like Skinlab fans, man, they're true metal fans, dude. They're not sitting there listening to the mainstream stuff anyway. I don't feel, I feel like me as a Skinlab fan, I'm quite a hardcore fan. Most of the other guys I know, the Skinlab fans, they're really quite hardcore fans, dude?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, we have a lot of fans that are, love similar bands like Hatebreed and stuff. Yeah. But we also have a lot of fans that I noticed, the older couples that come out, they're like fans of the Deftones and Korn and a lot of, that era of bands. But what's really fucking cool, as much as we fucking just love and admire our old fans, we're a new band again. And that feels fucking crazy because there's that 10-year break. A lot of people, they went on with their lives, but there's a whole new generation of people that don't know who the fuck we are. They don't know these scary looking, fucking weird looking dreadlock dudes, and they're turning their heads now. People are wondering about us again, and it's cool. It's nice to be back in the scene and back on radar.
Yeah, that must be cool. People coming in and for their first kind of interaction with Skinlab, first getting Venomous and then going, wow, dude, this blows me away. And then jumping right back into your back catalogue and just getting lost in that, dude. It is really cool. That must be a good buzz too.
Hey, I do it myself, man. I just drove, like I told you, I'm moving from the Bay Area to San Francisco or to San Diego right now as we speak. Wow. And, the 12-hour drive, for the first time in my life, I put on Spotify and listened to a Skinlab channel for fucking 12 hours. I had no idea we had that much. Like, you know what I mean? We wrote it all, but it's crazy. I was like, wow, I made it all the way home fucking listening to Skinlab all the way. And I'll tell you, I'll be honest with you, man. There was fucking, my eyes got watered up. There was some tears. There was some anger. There was lots of emotions through the 20, 30 plus songs that I listened to, man. And I'll tell you what, by the time I got back home, I was proud as fuck.
Yeah.
Of what we've written.
You should be proud for your career and what you have achieved so far, and you have so much yet to attain. It must be like that, sitting there and listening to that collection of yours and then going, wow, this is like a story. This probably was so emotional for you. Everything is kind of out there on the paper, all your emotions, everything you've had over these 26 years, from Bound, Gagged and Blindfolded right up to Venomous. Listening to it must be like, wow, this is my life.
Hey, we're gonna leave a nice, ugly, stinky footprint, And I was talking to Snake the other day. It's like, dude, just think, like, when we're gone, our kids are gone. Their grandchildren, like, they're gonna be like, fuck, we had, like, the Bo Diddley. Our grandpas were like, our great grandpas were like, it's gonna be cool. The nice legacy that we leave behind. Nice, big, fat, ugly footprint. I think it's going to be beautiful.
Yeah, I often say that too. It's going to be really cool for the grandkids to look back and go, that was my great grandfather ripping it up there, dude. That's going to be something, more than any money or any prize or any awards. It's going to look, I've left my mark musically, and I've left it all like on the page and musically out there.
That's right. Never seen a dime and did it all for the love.
And that's the thing, people don't realise. Artists like yourself just bust your fucking ass bringing out this music, and it's not about the money, it's for the music, the story, and you're an artist bringing out work and art constantly.
Well, it's all about art, man, and art and passion go hand in hand. And if you're going to be an artist, you have passion. If you're going to fucking pull through, then you have longevity. So it's just about what you want to give, and just how much you love it. So.
Yeah, and you've signed up with Artist War Records now, eh? You still there?
Yeah, I'm here. What'd you say? I'm sorry.
So you've signed up with Artist War Records now. How's that going, dude? That seems pretty cool. You've got some dope-ass bands and a few cool Aussie bands on there as well, I noticed, man.
Yeah. We're spreading our wings, Artist War is a startup label. We were the first band. Lucas is a great dude, and he and our manager started spreading their wings and getting everything it takes to run a label. And then Lucas took that ball and ran. He's doing great, and we're really happy. We're very fortunate this day and age to have a label behind us and that's supporting us. And yeah, we're stoked. It's a nice vehicle to get out there, and he's done everything he said he's going to do.
Exactly, man. And it's really cool because he's got From Crisis to Collapse, which are dope Aussie band. You got Eye of the Enemy and Super Heist, which are 3 unreal Aussie bands on that label as well. It's like, wow, man, this is really cool to see this label that's growing and building this really good international base of bands, dude.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we'll be over there. I think there's talk of Skinlab collaborating with one of the AAIW bands. I'm not sure. I think maybe Super Heist we were talking about or something.
Yeah, well,
so
Sankey's
we'll
on drums as well for them. Back on drums again with Super Heist.
Oh, really?
Cool. Yeah, man. He's just brought out a track, man, Devolved. I don't know if you get a chance. They haven't actually released the physical digital copy of it yet, dude, but that is fucking unreal, man. Real heavy, real beefy death. It's got Simo, bass player for Super Heist, and In Extremis, singer from In Extremis, doing vocals. Real death kind of stuff, man. It sounds cool as.
Nice, man. Yeah, I remember John from back in the day. Devolved, yeah, right? Is that what you said?
Man. Yeah, Devolved, dude.
Frankenbok.
Yeah, dude. Funny you said that. I'm sitting here because I'm not much of a drinker, dude. I'm more of a chuffer, dude. But I'm having a can to celebrate chatting to you and my 100th, and I'm sitting here with a Frankenbok stubby cooler, dude.
Fuck yeah! You talked to those boys. Said, "What's up? We got to do a reunion tour."
Yeah, I will, man. I had a good chat to Dan McDougall a couple of years ago now. And I was talking about how I seen him many a year ago with Slayer and Machine Head, we were talking about before. I think it was like 99 or 2000 at the Sebi Theatre.
Right.
And it was a really cool show, dude. I'm a massive Machine Head fan as well. I ended up getting like that yellow diamond from the Davidian album we were talking about earlier on the back of my neck as well, dude.
Yeah. I'm surprised I don't have a Machine Head tattoo yet. I think I might have to get one. I got me a King 810 the other day.
Yeah, you got a fair bit of artwork on you, dude. How many hours do you reckon you've spent in the chair?
Fuck, many hours, drunk hours, passed out, fucking. I got all kinds of friends that did work on me all over the world. Yeah, I've taken a break though. My wife and my kids are more into getting tattooed nowadays. I think I crossed my threshold of pain.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm a big pussy now.
Yeah, dude, I'm a bit like that. I got my back of my legs done about 6 months ago, dude, and I was a bit of the same, eh? I was like, fuck, this hurts a little more this time. I might actually have a can for this one.
Yeah.
So can I talk about the Amerikill film clip, man? That was the one just recently released. That's a cool clip, man. Can you explain to me a little bit behind the story about the track and the clip?
Yeah, well, I mean, it just our director Carl, he literally he ran with the idea of our current situation. It was it's the first video that we co-directed ourselves. We're going to start doing a lot of videos. By ourselves and try to do as much as we can and team up with different directors and editors. But, he definitely, he took a stab at the whole quarantine, thing. And it's just all about the video, it's got the guy in the room with the paranoia and everything and the gas mask and everything. And it's just about knowing your surroundings, man, knowing your surroundings, trusting yourself, knowing like at the end, it's not a fucking dream. This is real, and, there's no outside fucking link to the real world through what am I